All right, so this is quadrilaterals. Your anchor chart on quadrilaterals, not quadrilaters. Oh, that's kind of cute. Quadrilaterals. So a quadrilateral, defining sentence, a quadrilateral is a four-sided polygon. Okay? A quadrilateral is a four-sided polygon. Okay, and yeah, I got my poodles back there. I realize they're kind of bleeding through. So this does kind of beg the question of what is a polygon. Okay, so I'm actually turning. Okay, a polygon is a closed shape with straight lines. Okay. All right. So pretty much all the shapes that you could name are polygons except for circles and ovals. Okay, because they have, you know, curvy lines. Okay. A quadrilateral is a four-sided polygon. Okay. So we need two main vocabulary words, kind of written down and out of the way before we can move on. The first is so this is good to know. Okay, good to know before we go on. Okay, a right angle is a perfectly square angle. Okay, and parallel lines, or just parallel, let me do lines. Okay. I always circle the two L's because the L's in parallel are parallel. They are two lines that could go forever in both directions, and they will never, ever, ever touch. Okay, and they can be going, you know, any which way. Right. So we've got to have those two ideas down before we can talk about different quadrilaterals. Okay. So now let's get to just some special quadrilaterals and what they are. Okay, so I'm going to actually make you a little hierarchy. Quadrilaterals. Okay, all right. So we're going to talk about two different kinds. We're going to talk about parallelograms. And that went too far. I guess this line will have to go just further down. Okay, and trapezoids. Okay, so what's a parallelogram? What's a trapezoid? Okay, so a parallelogram, that one has no side, has two pairs of parallel lines. Okay. A trapezoid has only one pair of parallel lines. Okay. So if I were drawing some examples, okay, a parallelogram can look like this. Okay. And a trapezoid can look like this. Okay. A trapezoid can also look like this, okay, or let's see, like this, okay, all right, okay, but of course we're not done, okay, because there are different kinds of parallelograms, okay, so there is the rectangle and the rhombus. Okay. All right. So, what's a rectangle? What's a rhombus? Okay. So, a rectangle has two pairs of parallel lines, just like a parallelogram, because it is a parallelogram. Okay. So, it is a parallelogram with four right angles. Okay. That's just what it is. A rhombus is a type of parallelogram with 4 equal or congruent, because the word congruent means same, sides. Okay, so what might a rectangle look like? Well, a lot of times it looks like, okay, this, okay, or it can be skinny, okay, but it does have those right angles, and a rhombus is often envisioned as kind of a slanty square, okay. So, but it's important to know that this shape right here is a parallelogram. This shape right here is also a quadrilateral, okay. And of course we get to the specialist of special shapes, the poodle, if you will, of the quadrilateral family, okay, and that is the square, okay, because a square, let me see that, okay, a square is a parallelogram with 4 equal or congruent sides and 4 right angles. Okay, but it's important to note that just like poodles are dogs and poodles are pets, squares are rectangles, squares are rhombuses, squares are parallelograms, and squares are quadrilaterals. Okay, and before we stop, I am going to come over to the trapezoid family and give it 2 little lines over here. Let me find what color I feel like doing that in. Picking colors is strangely difficult. Okay, what I want to do is I want to talk about an isosceles trapezoid and a right trapezoid. Okay, and yes, I do see that I'm running out of room. Okay, an isosceles trapezoid has 1 pair of congruent sides, and a right trapezoid has 1 right angle. Okay, so this right here is an isosceles trapezoid because these 2 sides are the same, and this right here and this right here are both right trapezoids because they have a right angle. Okay,